Nicole Hetty here from Papertrey Inc. and today I'm going to show you some unique ways to use this frame image from the new set for the graduate. As you can see, the graduate image is all part of the frame, but today I'm going to show you how easy it is to use this with your punches and use it for everyday occasions as well. I'm going to start by creating a background using a leaf image from a new set called Masculine Motifs. That's going to be showcased a little bit later on this countdown. And I just wanted to show you how if you turn your paper a half turn after each stamp with a leaf image like this, it helps to create a really random look, and you can kind of fill it in as you go. Like so. After you've stamped leaves over the whole background like this, I wanted to show a little something I do to make it look a little bit more random. I like to take the very tip of a leaf image and just add it in the blank spots that may be around the edge, just like this, and it really helps to give it a little bit more of a finished look, and like it really covers the entire page. The frame image that I'm going to be using in a minute that I was showing you from the graduate has a coordinating die that makes it really easy to cut out the frame. So here I've cut one out with craft cardstock, and I have the For the Graduate frame that I referenced earlier. And I'm going to go ahead and ink it up with dark chocolate ink. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this directly on the die cut. Just like that. Now I'm going to take a leaf frame image from Tags for Spring, and I'm inking it up with ripe avocado ink, stamping it onto vintage cream cardstock, just like that. And then I'm following up with a sentiment from Masculine Motifs again, and I'm stamping it with dark chocolate ink right across the circle, just like that. I'm then going to take a circle punch and invert it and punch out the frame. Voila! I'm now going to take my Chai Vintage Tea Dye Duo ink cube, and I'm going to sponge the outside edge of this background pattern that I created earlier. You just want to use a quick flicking motion with your wrist to get a nice soft look. And I'm also going to do the same thing with the edge of this focal point that I created a minute ago. Now I'm going to create a little accent strip for my project using my Score Pal, and I know the measurements won't show up very well on camera, but right between the 6 and the 6.5 mark there's a little reference point that allows an 1/8 inch difference. What I usually do is line my strips up with the 6.5 mark and then go down that 1/8 that's right beside it. Flip the strip around and do the same thing on the other side. And by doing that, you get this nice embossed accent strip. I've gone ahead and attached the background that we made to a vintage cream card base. I'm now going to attach the accent strip that we created just a minute ago with the Score Pal, just a little bit higher than the halfway point of the card. I'm going to flip this over and trim the strips off, the ends of the strips, just like this. I then have the frame image that we stamped a bit ago in dark chocolate on top of that. And here is the Thinking of You sentiment. And notice that since I punched this out with the 1 3/4 inch circle punch, it's going to fit perfectly over this graduate image, and it looks like it was made to go on this card. It's a way to get versatility even though it's a graduation set. And then I've got 2 ripe avocado buttons here that I've tied with rustic jute button twine, and I'm attaching them with mini glue dots on either side. And there's your finished card. Now I'm going to show you another way to use this frame stamp with coordinating 1 3/4 inch circle images from other sets. For this project, I've gone ahead and die cut the matte stack from plain Stamper Select white cardstock, and I've inked up the frame image this time with Raspberry Fizz ink, doing something completely different than the last project, which was a bit more masculine and rustic. And you end up with that. I'm now going to use the 1 3/4 inch circle punch to actually physically punch a hole in the actual frame image. And I'm just going to center up this graduate image that's in the middle, and I'm going to go ahead and punch it out. And I end up with a frame that looks just like this. I'm now going to take this little apple and line image that is from 2009 Autumn Tags, and I'm stamping it with Spring Moss ink onto Stamper Select cardstock. And I'm going to go ahead and punch this out with the coordinating 1 3/4 inch circle punch, just like that. I have a sentiment here from Masculine Motifs, just like what I used in the last project, and I'm adding that directly over the apple using True Black ink. I have this piece of craft cardstock that I've stamped with Lisa Johnson's new A Little Argyle stamp set using Fresh Snow ink. I just covered the background with that image repeatedly, and now I'm using my corner chomper from We Are Memory Keepers to round each of the corners of this piece, just like that. I'm now using a 1/2 inch piece of score tape along the center of this background that I created, and I'm folding the ends around the back of this piece, removing the paper, and then I'm stretching across some stitched ribbon, Spring Boss stitched ribbon, and going ahead and wrapping that around to the back where I wrapped the score tape around. I'm then going to adhere this little apple image that we created. I'm just going to run some tape along the back side of it, and that's going to get centered right in the middle of this ribbon. I've gone ahead and adhered this craft background piece to a A2 white card base. Now here's the magic right here. I'm going to go ahead and take this frame. I put foam dimensionals on the back in the 4 corners, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it directly over the apple image. I then have 2 Spring Moss buttons that I've tied with the jute button twine, and I'm just sticking them a little bit under the edge of the focal point like that. And there's your finished card.